Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Harmonious World. My name is Hilary Seabrook. For this episode, I am joined by vocalist Heidi Vogel, and this is her singing Invitation. Heidi's got one of those voices you will have definitely heard on other people's tracks at some point, and it's really exciting to hear her on things of her own. My conversation with Heidi Vogel is in advance of her appearance upstairs at Ronnie Scott's on the 24th of July. It'll be great to talk to her about her music, what she's going to be doing at that gig, and what else she's up to. So I hope you enjoy listening into our conversation. Somehow it seems we shed our dreams, but when time after time in a room full of strangers, out of the blue. It's really nice to chat with you, Heidi.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's okay. So let's talk. We've got lots to talk about.
Yeah.
So I particularly want to talk about your upcoming appearance upstairs at Ronnie's.
Yeah. Really.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think I did one of the very first ones when they just opened. It might have even been the first one for the jazz series, and it was amazing. And everybody was so excited to sort of see the new space and things like that. And it was so quickly sold out, though. I think there were lots of people that still wanted tickets. So, yeah, I'm excited to have another one this year.
Yeah, I think you're very lucky, but people are obviously wanting to see you up there, so that's great.
Yeah.
And what band are you planning to have with you? That's what I'm always interested in.
Yeah, I've got Menelik Claffey on the double bass, Bruno Heinen on the piano, Noah Ajuma on the drums, and Femi Tomoa on the guitar.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you're familiar with all of those guys. Are you going to be able to make it?
I am familiar with some of them.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of some of them. But yes, I'm really hoping that I can make it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. It sounds like a really nice. So it's got a Brazilian tinge to it.
Yeah. But my last album, which is, a good 10 years old now, had a lot of Brazilian tunes on it and a Brazilian influence. And the new record that I'm releasing in July and should have copies for sale at Ronnie's has got a little bit of a Brazilian feel to it as well. That's sort of my tinge is like jazz with a little bit of Brazilian, sort of some Afro grooves, but all sort of based in the jazz genre, but with little tinges of Afro-Brazilian. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think the best jazz anyway, well, the best music has lots of different influences from all over the world, really.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's such an interesting sort of space to bring all of your different sort of spiritual and musical roots into. And I think that it's such an interesting thing, sort of thinking about the originators of jazz and where they were coming from with their sort of different roots, African roots and classical composers' roots and blues roots and African-American music combining with this sort of European classical composers and show tunes. And it's such a specific thing. And sort of trying to emulate and recreate something that's already lived is a beautiful thing. And obviously, like, it's our sort of life's devotion to dedicate to that tradition. But it also, sometimes we forget, is a space to bring your own spiritual and musical roots into at this moment and your own history into. So I think that that's a really beautiful space to do that with. Yeah, it's something that I'm really passionate about. And hopefully when the people that will come and see me will hear and see some of that.
Yeah, fantastic. One of the things that I really like about jazz, but jazz particularly, but also any contemporary music, is how much it is the best when it's done at its best is like a moment in time, and quite often it reflects what's going on, in terms of even if you're playing other people's tracks or old tracks or tunes that you wrote 10 years ago or whatever it is. There's something about this moment that gets into the music because it has to, because it comes from you.
So true. Yeah, it's very sort of present moment, feeling right now and being in the present time music that's created. So true. So we're sort of feeling where the world's at and how we feel about the world and how we feel about ourselves and about others. And it is like a snapshot in time music. So it's different every time. A lot of times when I play shows that people come to see, they might people that might not know too much about jazz, I make a point of saying to them, everything we're playing here is improvised. So we're basing it on a tune or a piece or a motif, but we are improvising right here with you, and we're feeling your energy. We're feeling the space of the room, and I think that's it's really special because it is, as you say, just a one moment snapshot in time of what's happening in the world, what's happening in that room, what's happening on that stage, and it's never going to be the same again,
No,
know.
absolutely. So much of what we listen to, and you take everything in, don't you? And I think one of the things that we realized during lockdown was you could still be an improvising musician, but it just wasn't the same if you weren't doing it around other people. Even
Yeah,
when you're in the studio, you're around other people.
yeah, exactly.
And if you can't do that, that's hard.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's exactly that. It's the relationship you have with the musicians and having those conversations in that moment with those people and the
Yeah.
feeling of what it feels like. And it's also quite risky as well because you're doing things um and saying things musically, saying things over the top of each other and trying different grooves and trying different melodies and trying different phrases in interaction, and so it can be quite risky. So you're sort of like going in flight together and hoping that you'll land together. And I think that it's exciting to watch and to listen to. So for
Yeah.
people that haven't had a chance to listen to too much jazz, um, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, very good. Well, I should be recommending your show
Yeah, thank you.
because I think that's really it's a very interesting concept, and I love your voice anyway.
Thank you.
And so yeah, can you tell me a little bit about your new album?
Yeah. So it's a jazz record with some beautiful arrangements of some of my favorite songs. I really consider myself as an interpreter. So I'm very proud to be doing songs of, cover versions of the Great American Songbook and great Brazilian tunes that I've loved and sang. So it is an album of songs from the Great American Songbook and some Brazilian. Actually, got a Cuban song on there as well, and nice arrangements that I've worked on with my friends, and a space for me to really showcase um, the style of jazz vocal that is so sort of dear to me. People that I'm influenced by, like Sarah Vaughan, Betty Carter, and Antonio Carlos Jobim, and the greats in the genres that I'm influenced by. And I'm sort of unashamedly just doing something quite traditional, but with a little bit of my own twist to it. And I consider it to have elements of traditional, but very raw and raucous in its own way, and very rootsy, um, but still very traditional. Homage,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and I think your voice is really interesting because I think that your style is very British.
Yeah, I like that. So
You're
true.
almost like a sort of Pauline Black from the
I
Specials.
don't know Pauline Black.
Oh, you need to listen to the Specials, right?
Okay.
Because you're very different people.
Yeah.
You're very different voices and everything, but there's a gutsy British. I mean, she's very much kind of ska,
Yeah.
but I
Queen
think
of Ska.
um,
I'm just looking her
yeah.
up now. It
Oh,
says
you're looking
Queen of
her up.
Ska. Yeah, I'm Googling.
Yeah. She is an incredible musician. I think she's very underrated. She is
Yeah,
one of those people that is sort of put in a box of ska,
got
but
you.
I think she's actually like such a good singer. And you are almost like the jazz version
Oh,
of
amazing.
her.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to check her
I
out.
will
And,
do. I will
you
do.
know,
No, I
yeah.
definitely love that we here in the UK have got our own sort of sound, and it's so soulful in its own way. Like I love Joan Armatrading, and
Yeah.
lots of the British artists that we sort of forget how much they've influenced everybody. Sade, all of them.
Yeah.
And it's when you speak to American people that really, really know their soul and jazz, they rate the Brits so highly, they really
Yeah.
do, because we bring exactly that. It's what we're doing is we're aiming not to copy, but to pay homage, but bring our own special
Yeah.
flavor. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
I saw Emily Sandé
yeah,
a couple of weeks ago, and she's another one
yeah,
who I think she could not be American.
yeah,
You know,
exactly, exactly. Same like Laura and Vula,
yeah,
Esther, all of them.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Emma
same.
Smith.
Emma.
Emma Smith, she's a perfect example of somebody who is like, the Great American Songbook, and she's a diva and
Yeah,
she does all of that, but she is very, very British.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love all of those women. They're like
Yeah.
people that I really admire, and I'm so proud to be from this British scene because we have so much going for us. And even
Yeah.
even historically, like if you move it out of the jazz genre, I mean, look at all the rock bands and all the great singer-songwriters. There's
Yeah.
such a tradition coming from here. So we have a lot to be proud of, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I am really, really looking forward to seeing you
Oh,
upstairs at Ronnie's. That'd be really good.
thank you. I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing you there as well.
Yeah. Before we finish,
Yeah.
actually, one of the things I do want to do is I do want to give my listeners a sense of where you've come from because you've done some really interesting things as
Yeah.
a singer. So,
Yeah.
so give me a little bit of background for
Yeah.
my listeners.
So I started in the acid jazz scene when I was a teenager, singing in acid jazz bands and working with people that were all like from bands like Jamiroquai and Stereo MCs and Incognito, um, and playing in different formations, bands like that. Um, and it was a really interesting time actually for like UK jazz and soul fusing into that sort of whole acid jazz thing. And then I started to go to the jazz jam sessions. Um, this is like, I'm talking about when I say teenager, I'm talking about like from age 15. And then I
Yeah.
got a chance to start doing actual things like going on different tours and being featured in different bands and playing in shows and doing a lot of different things. I worked with Cirque du Soleil, the Brand New Heavies, Eska, Soweto Kinch, all of these different people. And then I joined, oh, and then I was doing a lot of like UK soulful house and drum and bass and things like that. All at the same time, I was studying Brazilian music with like British-based Brazilian musicians that sort of took me under their wing and taught me how to speak Portuguese and all these different things and how to sing the songs and learning repertoire. So I was doing that in conjunction. And then I joined the Cinematic Orchestra in 2006 and have recorded and toured with them. And, we're still doing that. So that's 20 years now that I've been with them. And that's been incredible, playing all those shows with all those iconic songs and touring around the
Yeah.
whole world, like Australia, Japan, everywhere. We've been everywhere. Um, Jimmy Kimmel show in the States, like really, really, really amazing opportunities to play that album, um, which is Muffleur that has that song To Build a Home, which I think everybody knows. It's such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that. And then I've had a lot of opportunity to really like feature on lots of different jazz albums like Bruno Hein and Mark Lewandowski, Sosa Cole, um, performed live with Thundercat, and recorded on a record with him and Flying Lotus. So yeah, loads and loads of different collaborations and features, and hopefully still going
Yeah.
strong with plans coming up for the next year, While I
Fantastic.
still
Oh, that's
have the energy and life in me, I want to try and make as much music as I can.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Takes a lot to keep us down, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. That's exactly
Yeah. Brilliant. Right. Well, thank you so much, Heidi. It's been a joy to talk to you, and I look forward to seeing you in July.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person, Hilary.
I hope you enjoyed listening to that conversation with Heidi Vogel. It was a real pleasure to speak to her just a few days ago. I have lots of interviews booked, so there are some great episodes of Harmonious World coming up. Please do like, share, review, all those things, and make sure that you subscribe so that you can always get the episodes as soon as they come out, usually on a Monday. This week I'm heading to Ronnie Scott's upstairs, so not quite in time to see Heidi. I'll see her later in July, but I've got lots of gigs coming up that I'll be reviewing on my website as well, so check out those reviews of albums and live gigs. And thank you for joining me once more for Harmonious World. What you're listening to is Heidi Vogel's Bello Partido. She's got some amazing music coming out, so do take a listen. All the links are in the show notes. Have a great week.
Sabe, eu não faço fé nessa minha loucura. E digo, eu não gosto de quem é ruim em pedaços. E Deus é quem sabe de ti. Eu não mereço um beijo partido. Não passa de um dia perdido no tempo. E fico longe de tudo que sei. Não se fala mais nisso, eu sei. Eu serei pra você o que não me importa saber. Hoje não passa de um vaso quebrado no peito. E grito, olha o beijo partido. Onde estará a rainha que a lucidez esconder? Esconder. Sabe, eu não faço fé nessa minha loucura. E digo, eu não gosto de quem me é ruim em pedaços. E Deus é quem sabe de ti. Eu não mereço um beijo partido.
Thank you for listening to the latest episode of Harmonious World. My name is Hilary Seabrook, and it's a great delight to bring this series of discussions with musicians and composers and writers and all sorts of people to you. Obviously, there's no point in having a podcast if people aren't listening, and I'm very grateful to my listeners for doing so. Thanks also to Joe English for composing and performing this new theme tune. So wherever you get your podcast, you can leave a review. You can share this with your friends and family, either as a link or on social media and that sort of thing. I'd be really grateful for that. Don't forget that you can subscribe now. There's a link wherever you get your podcasts. So have a great week, and please remember why I started this, which is just to try and make the world a little more harmonious. Thanks for listening to Harmonious World.